हेलो वेलकम टू माय चैनल एड्यूशुला। आज हम देखेंगे mpse007 जिसके बुक का नाम है सोशल मूवमेंट्स एंड पॉलिटिक्स इन इंडिया के इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस फॉर जून 2022। इससे पहले अगर आप M8002 के पेपर का प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस विद आंसर्स, आप उसका PDF फॉर्म चाहते हैं तो आप मुझसे जीमेल के थ्रू या मेरे इंस्टाग्राम जो कि एड्यूशुला नाम से ही है, डिस्क्रिप्शन में आपको लिंक मिल जाएगी, वहाँ से आप मुझे DM करके या ईमेल के थ्रू मुझसे कांटेक्ट करके M8002 के इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस विद आंसर्स के PDF वहाँ से आप ले सकते हैं। तो वीडियो स्टार्ट करते हैं। mpse007 के इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस फॉर जून 2022 के कुछ क्वेश्चंस इस तरह से हैं। व्हाट इज़ लिबरल अप्रोच टू द स्टडी ऑफ सोशल मूवमेंट्स? हाउ डज इट कंपेयर एंड कॉन्ट्रास्ट विद अदर अप्रोचेस? डिस्कस द लिबरल एंड मार्क्सियन अप्रोचेस टू द study of social movements. How different are the Gandhian and liberal approaches for studying social movements? Explain the important features of Satyagraha. Describe the new social movements NSMS. Critically analyze the characteristics of the new social movements. Explain the meaning and importance of social movements. What do you understand by the term social movements? Identify the chief components of social movements. What do you mean by social movements? Discuss their role in Indian democracy. What are the components of social movements? Elaborate. Define social movements and discuss their main components. What are the differences between reform and revolutionary movements? What are the approaches to study of ethnic movements? What are the general features of ethnic movements in Northeast India? Evaluate the impact of information technology and globalization on social movements. How has the globalization process impacted Indian social movements? Explain. Discuss the impact of globalization on the different segments of the Indian society. Explain the impact of economic liberalization in Indian society. Discuss reservation as the tool of social justice. Discuss the main features of other backward class OBC movement in India. Who are the backward classes? Explain their social and economic conditions. What are the objectives of backward class movement? Elaborate. Evaluate with examples the impact of state policies on backward classes. Compare the backward classes movements of the South with those of North India. Discuss the political dimensions of ecological movements. Differentiate environmental and ecological movements. Write a note on religious movements in India. Discuss the relevance of social movements in Indian democracy. Analyze the role of social movements and highlight their importance in the strengthening of the democratic system. Discuss the importance of Dalit politicization. Critically examine the role of Dalits in Indian politics. Discuss the political mobilization of Dalits since the 1980s. What is communalism? How does it work in India? What do you understand by the term communalism? Do you think religions have contributed to its growth in India? Trace the development of communal movements in India and their impact on society. Discuss the changing nature of Indian society. Discuss how social movements have been contributing to Indian society. Discuss how politicization has spoiled or succeeded in disturbing the social environment in India with a few examples. Trace the evolution of the tribal movement and the Indian government's response. Give a brief profile of tribes in Meghalaya. Write a note on the major challenges and related issues faced by women in post independent India. Examine the issues of women in the pre independence period. Explain the meaning and significance of regional movements. Describe the main reasons for the emergence of regional movements in India. Explain with suitable examples regional movements in India. Trace the origin and evolution of agrarian movements in pre independence India. Describe the socio-economic profile of the Indian fishing communities. Identify their main problems. Discuss the relationship between people's movements and social change. Trace the growth of trade unions in India. Write short notes on the following: new social movements, Chipko movements, women's movement, politicization of workers' movement, challenges of secularism, relative deprivation theory, women empowerment, movements for statehood, fisher folks movement in Kerala, agrarian movement in India, child labor, बहुजन समाजवादी पार्टी, फार्मर्स मूवमेंट, नर्मदा बचाओ आंदोलन। वीडियो अगर पसंद आई हो तो इसे लाइक और शेयर करें। ऐसे ही और अपडेट्स के लिए चैनल को प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब करें। थैंक यू।